Good morning. I am delighted to be welcoming Conor Hughes here today, who has a beautiful vista behind her. We've just been chatting about that in your home in South Africa. So Conor, you are presenting at the NLP conference this year now, not next year. And your topic is mixing it up, how to ignite your trainings by using today's tools way better. So that's curiosity started. So do tell us a little bit more about yourself and your presentation.
Thanks, Karen. Well, just to get things moving along, I'd like to just visit along my timeline. And let's just drop in on a few little events that have got me to where I am right now. So let's start off, back in the early 90s, there I am sitting in a training room as a student. I'm actually working for a big British insurer. I'm leading a team to develop intelligent systems, but I'm in a classroom to learn interviewing skills because we have a broken recruitment process. We're hopeless at it. So there I am, and I'm listening. I think I've never come across anything like this before. This guy is amazing. I've never seen anybody move like him before. It was an amazing experience. I didn't know it was NLP. He was master trainer. He didn't mention NLP during the training. It revolutionized the department and the business and the way we recruited. It was an incredibly successful business transformation. And it changed me. And I didn't know it was going to do that. Yeah. So I kind of carried this away with me, thinking, okay, NLP, but I didn't do anything about it. All right, let's move along that timeline to about 2005. Now I'm in South Africa. I've been in a bank working there again, developing systems for about 10 years, and I'm ready to get out. I know exit strategy. I'm sure a lot of people will recognize that experience.
No judgment on the banking system.
Time to make the change. I have done enough for the banking system. It doesn't need me anymore. So in that 1 year, visit with me. I do my prac in January. I do my master prac during the middle of the year. I do trainers training out in Sydney, right at the end of the year. I start my coaching journey, and I leave the environment. So as we skip over the next 5 years, like many other people, I'm sitting there 5 years on, and I've got a small business. I do training, coaching, providing business solutions, very like Paul, the original guy way back in the 90s who taught me interviewing skills. It was pretty much an unconscious echo of what he was doing. I was getting frustrated. Here I am in 2011, and I'm frustrated because it's too slow. It's too small. I want to get to more people, and I'm not talking twice as many. I'm not talking 10 times as many. I'm talking thousands of times many.
Right.
That's now my passion, is to get out there and say, how do we get this NLP stuff? And it was such a frustrating time. And I said to the people I was working with, it's got to be technology. Guys, we're technologists as well as coaches. We're technologists as well as can't we get out there with tech? When we looked around, so I remember so well designing my own learning management system, and we built it. Now, an LMS, just as a sidebar, an LMS is a kind of tech container, and you put in it all the stuff, and I mean all the stuff that you do in any given training. And it holds it together, it connects it for you. It's an enabler. Right. So we built our own because the ones we had would have been super duper wonderful for 8-year-olds. But seriously, I kept saying to all the people who were showing me their lovely stuff, they thought, I'm sorry, but I can't take this into a business. Yeah, it's just not like it. So we built our own. And then we started having to build content to service our business clients. We designed, we built, we delivered. Fast forward 8 years of experience doing that, of making a difference to more people now in South Africa. The geography was taken out of the equation.
Yeah.
The costs were brought down. It was terrific. And we were changing people, which was important. And as usual, after about 8 years, can you see a kind of pattern around the 6, 7, 8 years going on here? Around like 2018, I wanted to change my life now. I wanted not to be in the room, to be the trainer. I wanted, and it's something that's why I like coaching, because I'm actually more concerned with other people. I love it when the people I work with excel and bloom and blossom.
Yeah.
So I started saying, what would happen if we took this and we stopped teaching and we started enabling other NLP professionals, which kind of changed everything. Because now we had to have something that would enable other people that we could help them with. So we went out and we looked at the LMSs again, and we actually went out, we abandoned our own, we gave it a Viking funeral, and we chose one, which is one of the top 5 globally for small and medium businesses, because they're not all the same.
Yeah.
So we did that, and we started building content, reusable content. Now, the content isn't the point. The point is what the NLP professionals do with it. They bring the magic. So that's where we are at the moment. We've got a client book that goes from the USA to Bangladesh, and all points around the globe. So it's about enablement. And what I want to do in the presentation is I want to give the audience an insight into what that enablement can mean for them and how different it is and how accessible that enablement is. Okay. So if you're thinking limiting beliefs, perhaps, we'll be talking a bit more about that just now. So in the conference session, I want to just take the segment of when the student, the NLP student, is doing solo work. Okay. This is something we've been doing. I did it back in 2005, and I'm sure it had been going on for years before that. I remember going the ring on the doorbell, and there's this exhausted looking courier. He's got these boxes in the back of his thing, because the course was based in Cape Town and I'm in Joburg, and that's about 1,400 kilometers distance. It's distant, you know.
Yes.
So he struggles in with this box that contains a file with 250 pages in it and a box of CDs of about 40, 50 hours worth of auditory. My little visual heart sank as I thought, I'm going to have to listen. Don't do that. But anyway, so this has been going on since before we started talking about serious tech involvement. And I want to look at that solo experience and how tech can change it when the NLP professional chooses to pull the magic across into that part of what we do. It's not everything, by no means, it's a part of what we do and what we enable, but it's the piece I want to focus on. There's something important before I carry on, which is there are some distinctions that we make as NLP teaching professionals, and we do it all the time. I've heard it so many times from the trainers I engage with, and it's the distinction. The big distinction is: are you training in the room or are you training online?
Yeah. And
over all the years I've been working, I've learned that is not a helpful distinction.
Yeah.
Okay. That one of the helpful distinctions, and there are 2 or 3 of them, one of the helpful distinctions is the student with the trainer real time? Geography doesn't matter. They could be holding hands. They could be in the other hemisphere. Doesn't matter. The issue is the trainer is present real time. Versus, are they working what we now call self-paced? They're on their own. They're engaging with resources. And the trainer may be in those resources, but they're not present. Yes. So they may be videos. Yeah? Yeah. That is a much more useful distinction as we start to talk about enabling training properly. Yes. With tech. So the session itself, we're going to look at some of the surface level stuff, the content, the way we interact. these are the equivalent of the NLP techniques, right? Now, techniques are the kind of the surface stuff. I know I was always much more interested in the curiosity and the modeling bit. The Taylor techniques, yeah. You can, let's say, but that's just me. But we're going to look at some of those techniques and play with them, because some of them are really cool and unexpected, and I hope will make people think I could transfer my magic doing that. I can see how I would teach that, and I would do it like this, because I would bring this. So that's one of the things we're going to look at. It's, in one sense, that's the top layer. Yeah. Under that, just like NLP, we've got the models that have been created. So I want to offer in that session some of the models I've noticed, I've encountered, or I've derived in the years that I've been working in this area. So, and they're going to come from a variety of places. Some you may expect, like neuroscience. Some you may not expect, like hardcore online gaming.
Yes.
E-learning, totally different field, big industry now. There are models in there that we need to be aware of. And also things like, how do Netflix and people like that think about what they're putting out? Because they are also about this keyword engagement. We're going to be looking at engagement models from multiple sources, which will explain why those techniques are hanging around, why we say this technique is really cool. Okay. So I'm also just take a quick look at what that looks like on a tech platform. So I see it as a little bit of not a theme park ride, but a little theme park.
Right.
So we're going to have a wow moment over here with Harry Potter, and then we're going to have a wow moment over here with Avatar, and whole thing. Okay. But I'm not going to be holding my breath for 7 minutes as the Avatar people did. I can't believe it. Just like, wow. Limiting belief on my part. We're going to boldly go to many, maybe not unknown places, but I hope unexpected places.
Yeah.
What I really want is for people to think, my magic will work here. I get it. That's what we're looking for. And then right at the end, I want to just provide a little glimpse. My crystal ball has been in the repair shop for a long time now, but I've ordered it for it to come back just in time. I'm going to look into that crystal ball right at the end and say, 10 years out, where is this industry? Not just the NLP industry, but where is the training using a tech to reach thousands more going? It isn't going to Udemy. And here's online, bye. It's not going there. It's going to much more interesting places. So they promised me I can have my crystal ball back to do a 10-year vision.
Brilliant.
For that. Okay.
Brilliant. I'm there.
It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. So what will delegates take away from your session, apart from your crystal ball predictions for 10 years' time?
I think the first thing that I really hope they take away is that technology is being demystified. It's being democratized daily. It's getting closer and closer to ordinary people. And when I say ordinary, I mean those who can come out of the cupboard and interact with humans. You don't have to be a geek. And that's getting more and more true. That's the first, and it's a crucial takeaway.
Yeah.
This is all about belief. So most of the techniques, most of the takeaways for me need to be about the beliefs of the NLP professional.
Yes.
This is when you do this kind of thing, it is a 4-step learning process. What isn't? And anybody, any NLP professional can do it if it lights them up enough to move through the conscious competence. I'm not comfortable with this stage, but that's all it is. So if it lights you up, you can do it. Another key takeaway is the tech isn't the issue. The issue is, do you understand your own creative design? Can you pick up the ways of transferring magic? Have you got the insights? Do you get the models? And that's just 4-step learning. So that's what's important, not the tech.
Yeah.
So, and the lastly, when we do look forward 8 to 10 years, one of the things we're going to see is the millennials, and they're going to be in their 30s. They don't expect what you and I expected back in the day when we did our NLP prac. They expect something completely different. If it ain't on their favorite device, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So we need to recognize all of those things. And I think they're the fundamental things. And a lot of them are about beliefs, about what's important, and probably about the audience's values too.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds intriguing. So is there anything that delegates can do before your session, Conor, that will just give them an even deeper experience of your session?
I think I gave a lot of thought to this. So what we've done is, and what I'd like the delegates to do is, first of all, to think about how they were taught eye-accessing cues. Okay, just that one, just as an example. Have a think about that. You remember the nice little diagram with the big eyes and the arrows and lots of hand waving and stuff like that. And then what I'd love them to do is to go to our conference page. So we have a page about the conference on our website.
Right.
I'll provide you with the URL.
Yeah.
And on there is a link to an LMS unit, a complete LMS unit that's out there being used by our clients at the moment, which is it's a lovely little example of what you can do with solo learning that actually looks completely different to the way we were all probably taught eye-accessing cues. And it'll just give a feel for the kind of, oh wow, okay, that's what she's doing, and I can do this. Okay, I'd like that experiential piece, because I don't want to have to get deep into stuff at the time. So if you've seen it, fabulous, you'll be totally ahead of the game.
Oh, I'm going straight to that. I'm actually doing some e-learning myself at the moment, and it doesn't sound like it doesn't fit into what you're talking about, that's for sure.
And there's one other thing, and that comes back to this thing about limiting beliefs. A lot of the NLP professionals I talk to a lot of them, and it works for some of them, but for me, it's a limiting belief that tech is difficult. I can't do tech. That's not a truth. It's not a fact. It's a limiting belief. Yeah. And if it works for you, that's fine. Great respect. For a lot of people, I'm hoping it doesn't work for them. So here's something you could do. If you recognize that teensy little limiting belief inside yourself, here's an idea. Before breakfast, you look in the mirror and 3 times you say to yourself, I have all the resources I need to succeed. Because you do.
Yay.
And I can be one of them. I work with NLP professionals to help them develop those resources and move the magic and do all of that. So that's what they can do.
Wonderful, thank you, Conor. So so we've only met, a few years ago. It seems like a lifetime, because I love all the people. I love all the people that I meet with. What does the NLP International Conference mean to you, Conor?
The first thing that I think of is connection. Yeah, I connect with people there, and that leads me to community. And I think from that's incredibly important in the work we do. That word community is huge in my life and my work. It's about insights, it's about inspiration, and all of that together comes to mean opportunities. That's what I see when I think about that. But can I just say one other thing about the conference itself? For me, this is a personal statement, the best thing that ever happened to the ANLP annual conference, apart from the fact it's created, is COVID.
Yes.
May sound strange, but for years, I never quite got to Heathrow. Yeah, one reason and another. And then shazam, we're all in lockdown. And the conference had to survive. Your conference had to go online. And I just want to say thank you to you and Cash for not falling into the either or trap. Should we do it online? Should we do it? It's an either or. You elegantly sidestepped that tricky little trap and said, you know what? It's both.
Both ends.
And that was, so that whole thing, it enabled me. I was there last year. but it's enabled me to present. How amazing is that? So it's a kind of thank you from people all around the world in my situation who haven't got the time or the resources, or what, for whatever reason. We are all so grateful that COVID actually gave you that nudge, because this is fabulous.
Great, and we are doing proper hybrid this year with an in-person weekend and a virtual weekend. So it's we're again stepping into new territory for us. You know, we keep saying we like a challenge, and we think we need to stop saying that.
What do they say? Be careful what you ask for.
Careful what you wish for, exactly. So thank you so much, Conor, for this
Been a great
wonderful insight into your presentation. And just to remind everybody, Conor is presenting at the NLP International Conference on Sunday, the 21st of May in our virtual element. And you're presenting at 11 a.m. BST. You are in summertime at the moment, and we will be in summertime by then. So thank you so much, Conor. Really looking forward to your presentation.
Looking forward to it as well. Thanks, Karen.
You're welcome.